The January 6th committee is hitting the home stretch of these public hearings in its historic year-long investigation into the attack on the U.S. Capitol. In a surprise move, one of former President Trump's closest allies, Steve Bannon, is offering to testify. Bree Jackson is in Washington, D.C. with the details. And Bree, we hear that Bannon's possible testimony comes with certain conditions.
That's right. Good morning, Maureen. Well, Steve Bannon received the green light from former President Trump to testify in front of the January 6th committee and says he's willing to do so if it's in public and it's live. Committee members say that's unlikely to happen. Steve Bannon, a member of former President Trump's inner circle, now offering to testify publicly for the January 6th committee. Within weeks, he's set to stand trial for contempt of Congress after months of stonewalling the investigation.
MAGA is on the march. The J6 committee is totally irrelevant.
Bannon's about face comes after former President Trump said he'll waive executive protections over his testimony, although it's unclear if those protections would apply anyway.
The bottom line is, yes, we as a committee want to talk to anybody that has information.
Former Trump White House counsel Pat Cipollone sat for a nearly 8-hour transcribed deposition. Some of his testimony is expected to be used in hearings this week.
He was able to provide information on basically all of the critical issues that we're looking at, and including the president's what I would call dereliction of duty on the day of January 6th.
Can we talk for a minute about January 6th?
New footage subpoenaed by the committee shows the former president downplaying that day.
They were angry from the standpoint of what happened in the election because they're smart and they see and they saw what happened.
Committee members make the case that rioters were enraged by Trump's false claims of election fraud and efforts to overthrow the 2020 presidential election.
How the president pressured the vice president, pressured the Department of Justice, pressured state election and electors.
The committee also focusing in on possible ties between Trump associates and right-wing extremists. And a former spokesperson for the far-right group, the Oath Keepers, is scheduled to testify on Tuesday. And on Thursday, we expect another prime time hearing. Maureen?
And Bree, what happens after the January 6th committee hearings are done?
Yeah, the January 6th committee does plan to release a public report or a report to the public. That could happen as early as sometime this fall. And they could also make criminal referrals to federal prosecutors. But ultimately, it would be up to the Justice Department to decide if to prosecute or to go forward with any prosecutions.
All right. Well, we're still in the middle of it, so we will wait to hear what they say later today. Bree, thank you so much for the update.